necessarily their best side on Oregon. They did fantastic work on the attack. They are going to be removing none other than the Nook, who has been a bit of a staple throughout, not just tonight, but CL in general. A lot of pressure in both games on the nades tonight, really forcing players into slightly off picks, but Wild, they are going to ban out the Maverick.
Maverick being banned out makes sense for Clubhouse. It's really the only time we would see him be played is on Clubhouse. I mean, majority of the time, should I say. The thing is about the Maverick ban is it just screams that Wild are going to be attempting Bandit Tricky in some capacity. That's the automatic thing that I see from it is, yeah, remove that. You can go for the Bandit Trick. You can obviously play the Kite as well. Synchronized.
Is it in the same order every time?
No, because that would be like a 1, 2, 3, go.
I think it's in the same order every time.
But it couldn't be. It couldn't be.
I might go
You're
back
telling me if you had 5 people,
we might have to
all have to press a button.
Yep.
Right? And you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then everyone hits the button. And you do that 3 times, you're telling me it's going to be the same person who's hit it quickest, and then second quick, and then third quickest every single time.
I think they must just have an order and they just go... And as soon as you've done it, you say done, and as soon as you hear the done, then that's the next one.
No, because it would be longer than that.
I'm going to VOD review and see if it is all the same. Find out. Find out next week. Find out next time.
Find out on Thursday. That's whenever we're next up. We're back again. Also, people don't know, I don't think we've mentioned it as well, after Thursday's playday, we actually break for a bit, Ollie.
I wonder why.
Something happening in Sweden. Again. It's always something that country never gets a break. That country almost has the same amount of major championships being held in what Canada does. I think that's quite a shocking statement, isn't it?
Certainly is. So who else is shocking, Demo?
Your hairline?
That we're seeing bar and stage as a round 1 choice from Mkers. Basement is available.
Start off strong.
This worries me with WoW because you're just inviting them into a little walk-in, aren't you?
Whenever you see an Ash stumble towards kitchen corner, Ollie, and open up a big opening, it screams like that. Geisler looking to gain control of said kitchen at the moment. Again, this is where Wild's so dangerous, Ollie, because it's just, what are they going to do? But see, now it's thrown a spanner in the works because now they're opening up the main breach as well.
Well, they know they have to get some sort of vertical.
Well, no, I don't think it's there for vertical. I think they're going to open up that angle so then they can stop anyone rotating back downstairs. Because you think about it, if they're trying to push in towards kitchen, they're trying to push in through bathroom, a player's going to come down main stairs, which has literally just happened for Gemini, who's then got the kill because Aces is trying to move before the wall's been opened up.
Akwi, he's going to find one onto BZ as well. Gets himself out of dodge nice and safely. Wild. Seems like they're almost out of ideas here. There's a Dokkaebi call coming through. They're desperately just looking for picks, and Kaneo will find at least one. Takes one off onto Doro. Knows that there's going to be a player behind the weight rack, but sorry, he can pre-fire onto that angle all day long. Akwi, he's going to pick himself up a second along with Gemini. Kaneo finds himself one, but it will be impactless at this point. Lolo, he was holding inside a construction. He gets the call. Easy little pre-fire there through into Jim. Bit of a shame from Wild. They kind of jumped the gun a little bit on that one.
Just a bad attack, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just a bad attack. Don't really know what they were trying to achieve. They've taken early control of kitchen. They've tried to push up main stairs before the breach has been opened up. It's very disjointed. No real game plan, no real vision. The game plan that they had, you can see from a mile off, it was never going to work. You have to attack that bomb site in a certain way. And it's an easy way. That's the thing. You attack it in a certain way, but it's easy. You sweep garage, into cache, open up construction wall, and the rest will come. That's as easy as it is. We've been over this so many times. We've tried to see teams try and push strip. We've tried to see teams try and walk just into the bomb site through main door.
You sound like a disappointed teacher. We've been over this question. We've been over this answer before.
Honestly, it comes up in the mock exam and it's just...
2 + 2 is 4.
It's not that
simple. Been through this.
It's a bit more difficult than that. It's more of a Pythagoras' theorem conundrum, you could say.
I think in terms of sites in the game as a whole, it isn't a complex one to attack. The attack isn't that complex.
Am I too simple? Do I think it's too easy? Am I too much of a simple man?
Have you played the game?
Played the game.
No surprise to see us change things up a little bit here. I thought he was going to fire one back there.
He actually looked around like, what are you doing? In disgust.
What's he lining up here? Just chilling?
All right. Basement time.
This is where Wild can be dangerous, but they can also get caught in a few traps. Mkers got a little bit of presence inside a dirt tunnel. Some good information out there as well. Wild, they're going to go direct. Now, we've seen them do this before, Demo.
Straight down dirt. Utilizing the nades. The fact that Dora is alive is incredible. That's massive, the fact that he's just tanked that nade, Ollie, because having those extra smokes, even just having that extra man, could be big. Could be big indeed for Wild, who just look to be a very basic Ollie. Back to basics. Opening dirt. Opening kitchen. Classic Kurt push.
Kneo got himself a nice little angle there, just onto the back of sight. Doesn't need to play too aggro there. His job now is to almost sit and wait. And he needs to wait for the rest of the team to get themselves into position. Opening up kitchen hatch is, of course, going to be on the to-do list here. No point in attempting any sort of impact trick, as the X-Karos pellets will far outweigh the amount of impact you are able to bring. And as such, the hatch has been opened quite timely. We're going to see some nades now thrown on through. Got to try and destroy that Maestro camera. Acqui, I'm not sure how he's been allowed to get into that position. Has he got the C4? Has he thrown it up? What is going on here? Acqui, you're in the hot seat, my friend. You've got to try and do something. Maybe he's looking to find one with the SMG first and then potentially go for it. Wild, they don't have a clue where he is. Depends. If one of those stuns comes through, it could be a bit of a nightmare. Does find himself one, collects, but doesn't realize that someone's still upstairs. How does he get away? No, gets taken out. Giesler just manages to find him before he creeps down behind the reinforcement. And Sorry and Lolo now have to try and hold on. Sorry, inside of blue. Lolo, bottom of main stairs, got loads of information to go at. He can lay the diffuser cold on the ground. Sorry backs him up as we see Giesler try to recover it. Kaneo, he's been hanging out inside of bunker this whole time, and he too will fall. Sorry picks up that final kill. Oh, the 2 versus 4 demo. What's going on?
Just a man underneath the hatch. How?
Hurts to see.
Honestly, it is painful. It is painful. Just one of those. But they were able to recover. This is the thing that also gets at me. They were able to stabilize. They're able to recover. They got the kill back. It's still man advantage for them. But it seemed to be whenever that call, there's a guy underneath the hatch. It almost feels as if they know that they all messed up, and then they've all tried to be the hero to try and get that kill back. When in reality, you're always going to get that kill back.
Well, Giesler got it back.
Nobody on main stairs was the key thing. If you're pushing that, you should have the people coming dirt. You should have the people dropping the hatch. You need somebody pushing down main stairs. You need to hold that angle. Just a few errors.
The thing with Mkers in the playstyle at the moment, it's really rewarding for them because everything's giving them that positive reinforcement. You know, they've gone for that aggro play style on Oregon. It worked. It got them here. They've now just clutched out a pretty big round there. 2 versus 4. Shouldn't really have gotten away with it. And again, you just feel like as soon as that momentum starts to build for this team, things get really dangerous. And it's good because we haven't seen Wild pushed this hard yet. And we need to see how they react under the pressure.
Another opening pick for Wild. Jay. Oh, and it's Acqui. Wamai gone. Good operator to find, as we know. Wamai and his gadget. It takes a while to get all of them deployed out. Regenerates over time, so removing him early. He'll probably only have about 2 or 3 Ollie of those discs around the map.
At best, really. Gonna see a nade thrown in. How is Sorry alive? Honestly, Mkers like stealth running Rook or something like that. We're seeing some people get extremely lucky here tonight.
Wish I had this luck in my games.
And it's not only like, it's no small operators that are staying alive either. That's Sorry on the Yokai. So, or on the Echo, should I say, with the Yokais. So we may be able to remove those cameras and just replace them a little bit to give it a little bit of value if he does end up falling.
It's not a freebie for Dora if he just runs out, by the way. Another freebie. And he's missed the chance because Caneo's now on the building.
I don't think that they need to go for it.
I mean, hey, they're a man down. I think you do.
They are a man down, but I don't think that level of confidence is really there.
They're trying to play below, utilizing the C4s that they do have, which is only just the one. They also are using the echo cams to try and assist them in coordinating those pushes below. But all it takes for Wild is for them to rush site, Ollie. We've been over this before. Wild, if they see an opportunity, they'll just go for it, and they could find these picks. Down goes the Echo, only leaving one man on the site, which is going to be Lolo. Does get spotted out, does get finished, and the remaining two players are both below Ollie. That's them locked out of sight, similar to what happened to them in that round in Oregon for the top floor. Where did they go? A C4 has actually been collected this time. There goes the yellow pings. It should be a dead BZ, and it will be, but still a minute to go. All Wild need to do is hold on to a single staircase. There goes the second C4. It's also going to catch another one. Hold on a minute. This isn't part of the script.
Jay's actually been able to recover that C4, but he's going to get shot through the
Plant
floor.
on the bed.
There is still some information here. Gemini, how has he won that aces? Why have you gone for the peak? Jay, you've got it all to do now. 35 seconds. He's got loads of time, but he needs to find a safe pocket in which to plant. He really can't allow these players to make that rotation up those main stairs, and he's going to turn his attention there right now, but we've seen the players from Makers, they've dipped off. Jay is going to attempt to get that plant down. You've got to move quickly, and you've got to move together here. Pre-fire from Gemini. Jay gave the game away a little bit, but I think they still had some info, judging off this crosshair placement. Demo, they are winning rounds. You cannot afford to let go. Wild, what are they doing? That was one from the first floor.
Just no words.
Back-to-back C4 kills.
Plant on the bed. You can't C4 them on the bed. Even where he was trying to plant the whoever it was, Jay. Even where he was planting, you can't C4 him there. Just. I don't get it. If you know there's two players alive and you know they're not beside you in the bomb site, where are they going to be? Of course they're going to be below. Just plant in the bed. Plant where the concrete bit is.
I want to clip the plant on the bear.
No, don't use that. You can't. No.
That could be a classic. That could be one for the ages.
Plant in the bed.
Yeah,
but it's the way I say it.
Could be one for the ages.
Just
Makers, they are running away here with Clubhouse. That's 2 rounds there that they really shouldn't have won.
Yep.
2-2 versus 4s, I believe. So we could quite easily be sat here at 2-1 Wild. Instead, we are sat here at 3-0 Makers, and I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. Lady Luck is on their side here, and they've got the momentum.
It's just, I think for Wild now, it's keeping the composure, keeping the mental, in my opinion. Because this is where you go head loss. Losing 2 rounds that you should be winning, down to rookie mistakes. Yeah, it's tilting. Of course it is.
Where's the timeout, and where is that different level of Wild?
Timeout comes if they lose this round.
Yeah, I think it has to. I think there's an argument to say you could have called it at the start of round 4.
That is every bomb site one. Apart from the cache, which you've never seen anyway. But
we saw it a lot last week.
We did, which was so strange.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised again if we see it from Makers here, as they will be going back to that bar. So it was a strange attack from Wild where they just tried to force their way into the bomb site without really doing anything. It was just walk in one by one and get absolutely eliminated. Oh, a triple drop in towards Office Ollie. That's what they're going for. That's how they're going to try and counter the top floor. Sorry, finds one, but the trade-off is there. Gisla and also BZ trying to walk in towards Jim. Doro! 2 of them! How? Wild, they've tried another one of their tricks, but it's not worked this time. Oh dear, Wild, it's just... Ollie, nade happens, I guess.
I mean, that's about the only good thing that's happened to Wild in this entire round. They've got the chance at recovering the diffuser now. I mentioned in the pre-bit to this round how Lady Luck is on Maker's side. Doro, a sliver of HP, still getting away with a couple of kills there. All it would have taken would have been for 1 stray bullet. As it stands, Wild have done well here to stabilize. They still don't have the man advantage. They are, however, going to be able to recover this diffuser.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
They do still have a little bit of time on their side. Aces is going to be locked into holding that construction angle. Akwi has the opportunity to cause a little bit of a problem here and push up and just waste a little bit of time further. Lolo actually on these cache stairs as well, so you can only imagine that Gemini is playing the site on his own, or at least nearby. He's going to be at the bottom of these main stairs, just at the halfway point between basement and the first floor. So Wild have options here.
They do. I think the position for Mkers could be better. I don't like leaving Gemini by himself and the other two together with one another, because if Gemini exposes himself and he doesn't get picked off, then it could just be a single fight for Wild, just holding one side of the map that could work out really well for them. They both will now leave that construction side and start to push their way into the site. They should know about Gemini. I'm pretty sure they know he's down there, Ollie, and he's going to try and check the bathroom. Gemini gets flashed out. Here comes the players pushing in towards the lounge, and there's the pressure from above. Canio stuck in the clutch. Doesn't get any off them, Ollie. Mkers round number 4. Wild, they've tried something, but nope, not today.
I think Mkers played that exceptionally well there. They knew that that Wild had to give up that top floor control. If you've only got 2 people, you have to give it up. You have to try and get yourself down onto the site and get a plant down. And what happens when that happens? Well, they just move through, retake top floor, use the vertical holes that have already been made, and it is as easy as that. Gemini playing a very nice patient game there on those main stairs as well. As you predicted, Demo, 4 rounds down, time for a timeout. You could ask the question, what good is this going to do for the remainder of Wild's attacks? But they're in dire straits right now. They need to pick something up here. They need to try and upset the apple cart, because so far everything is going Mkers' way, and there's nothing that Wild are able to do to stop it.
Yep, they've tried really everything in the book, haven't they? They've tried to go fast. They've tried to cheese their way into the bomb sites. They've played slow. What do you do? What's consistent for you right now? And this is what we mentioned about Wild, is they can be dangerous when we talk about that edge of your seat gameplay. It's unbelievable whenever it works. But if you start getting into a rut where just nothing's going your way, the playstyle's horrible to play with.
I feel like Mkers are finally hitting the stride as well.
Because here's the thing, I think with the playstyle that Wild go for, I don't know if it's just me, I don't know if some of the Wild players think the same, I have no idea. Whenever you go for these rushes and you go for these pocket plays and you try this playstyle, if I was doing it, there's like a bone in my body that says this is horribly wrong. This isn't what we're supposed to. This isn't Siege. This isn't supposed to be what it's like. There's something about that. I don't know if that's just me.
You are a
and the traditionalist inside of me, but then at the same time, it puts you under pressure, especially whenever you know it's already risky. These types of attacks that Wild go for, if one thing goes wrong, the whole thing's done. And whenever things now are going wrong, you start to doubt yourself, I think. And that's where the mental game comes in big. They need to believe themselves that their playstyle is working. Or else do they do a Mkers and do something completely different than what we're used to seeing Wild do.
Well, Wild recognised that one of the big problems last time was the deployable shield inside of Dirt, and they've dealt with that in a much easier way here by bringing the Flores. They haven't needed to commit any bodies to that, and they've not risked the gunfight.
I dare argue and say that the issue they had last time, Ollie, was a man just underneath the hatch. I dare argue that.
Okay, so that was the first issue that Wild encountered was the shield inside of Dirt. The problem is that Doro pushes up and finds the kill onto Jay. Doro, what is going on here?
It's that Wanderer again.
This guy's having an insane game.
He is.
He's only got 4 kills, but I feel like all of them are bangers.
Yeah, he's hit mad shots, but I mean, Jay again wandering. We've been over this.
Yeah, 2 and 4 is just getting caught in the current, quite simply. And we always talk about this, Demo. How important is it to have a gun in every position when attacking this site?
This site is unforgiving.
It's the worst one. You need someone in Dirt. You need someone in Blue. You need someone bottom main stairs. As soon as you lose someone, that's it. You're missing out on one of those key components.
Wild and Cafe were able to come back from a man deficit because it's just, you have to push in when your gunfights. Anyone can do that. For Clubhouse, it is methodical. It is strategical. It's not about the gun skill. It's about positioning more than anything. As an attacking side, you need to have about 3 different positions to execute onto this bomb site. If you start losing players early on, you're going to be limited to maybe 2 spots at best, and that comes in big, especially whenever you know you're against a full 5 that can be holding multitude of angles.
Look at the aggression here.
This is it.
Doro gets a bit unlucky there, to be honest. Aces is able to shut him down, but Gemini immediately trains his sight onto that doorway. Now, main stairs, Akwi, he's going to be holding that from above as well, so there's a little bit of blanket of security there. Wow. BZ's going to find a great kill over onto Lolo. This is the opportunity here for Wild. They've picked up a couple of really important kills. I love this from Sorry, taking out that mirror window. Akwi, he's done his job and more there on those main stairs. He's maintained Gemini's position, and he's been able to get a kill, get himself back into the site. With Sorry destroying that mirror window, he can now look to use that as a reverse angle. A nade onto Gemini is going to see him as down, but Sorry, he is able to get get some work done from here, but he's not going to be able to stop the plant from going down. Sees his down teammate is essentially 1 versus 2 here, needs to try and find some kills. Eventually, he is going to be picked apart there. BZ getting the job done, a plant and a kill to round things out. Much better from Wild, and all from a man behind.
They've adapted very well to what they struggled with against Mkers, and that was holding on to main stairs. We seen in the previous round where they did try and plant in towards Armory, they were shut down by somebody opening up the wall, that single ash wall running that we like to talk about, and playing a simple angle for main stairs. Nobody from Wild were interested in main stairs last time they attacked. This time, they were and they weren't, which is strange to say. They were able to get 2 kills onto the Maestro and onto the Mira by opening up angles in the kitchen flooring and looking down onto them. They didn't even need to go to the main stairs to challenge it. Mkers, quite rightly so, they probably expected and said, oh, well, if they know we're playing main stairs, they'll try and push down main stairs. They left Aqui above, which, again, you have to come back to. Wild, sloppy droning, gives away an easy kill. But still, they were able to get the 2 picks using the verticality. As soon as you lose that main stairs control, as soon as you lose that pressure that they applied last time, the diffuser goes down a heck of a lot easier. So they have adapted extremely well.
5 seconds to insertion.
But it still doesn't change the fact that they are still in a horrible position.
Yeah, it still doesn't change the fact that Mkers are 4-1 up. And because they're 4-1 up demo, they can do weird things like go into cache and
I wasn't
CCTV.
expecting this, yeah.
We spoke about it a couple of rounds ago, how we weren't expecting this site. Again, it still isn't a very popular site. There's a couple of different things that you can do with it. One of the more popular things at the moment is something that isn't being showcased here, and that is to bring Rook and Doc. Another is to play a mirror window on the breach, but it's a bit weird.
It's not weird, because one thing that this mirror window does is allows impact tricking to happen. Mentioned before about how Ace charges and Habana charges, and also at this extent Thermite charges, they are going to be impact tricked. If you don't know about why this mirror window is being placed, you open it up, Thermite goes to places charge on the wall, or Ace or Habana, whatever happens. You can simply angle your throw. It will hit off the opening of the mirror window. The radius of the shrapnel will obviously extrude out, and it will destroy any bit of hard breach gadgetry on that wall. So that is one thing that you can go for, and it is a good strategy if you want to try and burn a bit of time, and burn, obviously, the hard breach away from Wild. And whenever you're dealing with the Wild attacks, and Wild are a team that we know like to push in towards Garage, you need a fair bit of hard breach, and you cannot be wasting that. There is four impact grenades that can be utilized in this.
It really relies on Gemini and Dora being in the right place at the right time here.
Look at all the Kairos is left as well, Ollie. Wow.
Only 2.
Attackers bomb.
Gemini, seeing a little bit of pressure here. Aqui has found himself a nice kill and is going to pick himself up a second, aggressively swinging on over and assisting Gemini in the garage there. Jay will find one back as a trade. Not going to be too concerned about that just yet, however, as with only 2 X-Kairos pellets left, I doubt this breach is getting open demo.
Yep, plenty of impact tricks still remaining. Also, if Habana wants to try and open up a sliver, I guess. But yeah, it's just...
What can you do?
It's going to have to be just from Garage. I mean, Canio is out here. Canio, mate, you have diffuser. I don't think he can fit through that. I don't know. Could he go for the dolphin dive through it? I'm not sure. Mr. Fantastic through it. Whatever he wants to go for. But yeah, he needs to get himself shifted. And the issue is now, he's left that cross. There is nobody now holding on to the exterior balcony, Ollie. Wilder are... I think they're done. There's no way. They don't even have the soft wall opened, Ollie. They get into the bomb site, they have to plant. Wait, can he jump through that?
I think he might be able to jump through that.
Is it big enough? Because if not, he has to go through a window, and you're just gonna... You're dead either way. There's Echo Cam still up, Ollie.
Still got a couple of thatches
There's
left.
a C4. No way. There's no way. Jump through the window. There we go. Immediately...
Seconds remaining.
Aces gets eliminated from below. Jay's just trying to push into the bomb site. They went for kills, Ollie. That has been the call. Let's just push in and try and kill them all.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's going to work entirely, as Canale, he is getting the plant down with 0 seconds left to go. Does have to be cautious here, could find himself in an engagement and will do just exactly that. Dora had a little bit of a heads up there. He didn't really wait for Aqui. If he'd have lost that, could have broken it down into 2 1v1s, but as such, Mkers are going to be successful. I mean, let's be honest, Wild didn't have the tools for the job there. Losing out on the Thermite quite early, losing a lot of those X-Kairos pellets as well. It didn't really make for easy attacking into CCTV and cache, regardless of our thoughts on the site. It was a good site there for Mkers.
Mkers have studied the attack that Wild went for. And that's the exact same attack that Wild went for on Thursday, was they try and push in towards the garage from below, trying to pick off the players inside a catwalk. The difference is that Mkers played a lot more aggressively. They're able to take the swings. You have to also question Wild. Right, sure, fair enough. There's going to be a mirror window. You're not going to be able to open up that breach with the Thermite because of the impact tricking. It still gives you an angle to stop people moving across the bomb sites. What did Jaeger do, Ollie, that we've seen happen?
Immediately moved.
Went from one bomb site across the breach, jumped through the window, got a kill. How he's allowed to do that, I do not know.
Well, we do see the side switch now.
But also at the same time, I thought Mkers, great adaptation. I think the impact tricking scared them off. Good enough.
Yeah.
Give credit to Mkers. I think it was a great defense.
They brought a fair idea. I'm not a fan of the mirror window and the impact tricking because you've got to expose yourself and you've got to put yourself in harm's way.
I am, because I think as an attacker, it's something you're not used to, and you know it's just a pain.
It is a pain.
You know it's
yes,
a pain, and I think it just completely puts you off your game as a hard breach.
Yeah. It worked well for Mkers there. They've not really put many feet wrong so far tonight here on Club. Gemini?
He been down from?
Maybe from kitchen door.
Yep.
Yeah, kitchen doorway there. Just a little narrow angle. Gemini likely will get himself recovered here. Recovered back onto 20 HP. He's just going to burn a little bit of time here. Mkers, not only have they got plenty of time, but they've also got plenty of rounds to close this one out. They only need 2 to lock in Clubhouse and advance through the upper bracket.
Just the one lonely roamer in J. His jacuzzi has been opened up and decides maybe to fall back to the site, and he will look as if he's going to do so, Ollie. Down goes Canio. Where has that been from? Oh, he tried to rotate up and flank in towards Adam, Ollie, but he himself has been shut down. You can understand that Wild, they're under pressure, and I think they're trying to dictate the pace of how these defenses are going to go, and they're trying to catch them by surprise. They're trying to play aggressive, but it hasn't worked. And that's probably the worst thing you can happen, is you're trying to set the tempo, but it's just been used against you.
A saving grace for Wild right now is that they've got some low HP players on the side of Mkers. Gemini and Akwi, both pretty much one shot at this point. That isn't going to deter the fact that they are going to be able to push Lolo. What a shot over onto Aces. Picks up a second onto BZ. He's got to do a lot of work here from directly underneath the hatch. Jay finds himself one before being immediately traded. Lolo, what a round you are having. 3 versus 1 now for Giesler. He's caught inside of the blender. Has to move out of the way of the nade. Immediately challenges onto the bottom of these main stairs. Picks up, He's breaking these down. I mean, we might actually get away with this. Can he get through the might and the force that has been Lolo in this round? He's already picked up 3, framing up for a 4th. Doro, he's going to be looking to push in through Dirt Tunnel as well. He does hold the diffuser, and there is going to be a whole minute left here. Cover is going to be provided as the plant does go down. A little bit of a glimpse there for Giesler is all he needs. A C4 over the top. Shot out mid-air! Doro planting a kill to close things out. Mkers, it's going to put them onto match and series point.
It was fast. It was furious. It was all Olo. That man again, Ollie. What can you do?
You could say it was all over. I can't even say it with a straight face. Can't even say it with a straight face.
Get out of the studio. Get out.
All Lolo the place.
Yep, get him gone. Now, get him removed. I will solo cast, just like the good old days of CL. Never needed you before, Ollie. Now you're just making a mockery.
Well, there is a mockery being made here. And it isn't Mkers. 6 rounds to 1. When it's 6 rounds to 1 demo and you can't afford to lose a single round, what do? You go to Cash and CCTV and bring double French. Bring the Doc, bring the Rook, bring the Bandit. And hope beyond all hope that you can keep a hold of Garage, as that is likely going to be a main focus here. Mkers making changes accordingly. Going to be bringing double hard breach here. Letting go of the Book. Instead, going to be bringing the Ace just to assist Thermite in getting some of these walls open. And they're going to 6-pick into the Thatcher as well, just to try and combat the old Bandit tricking a little bit.
Just feels very bleak for Wild.
Doesn't look good, does it?
5 rounds in a row is what's needed. You went to Cash, which is unforgiving at times. I mean, the lineup is as B-tech and as basic as you want for Mkers. Galore of hard breach, plenty of nades, Thatcher for good measure. We've mentioned before that Wild they've banned the Maverick so they can try and go for the Bandit trick. I feel as though they probably want to be in a better position to be really trying to pay off for their big attacker bans and trying to play around those, because right now for the cash, it's going to be difficult. That's the exact same C4 that Canio went for in the last game that we've seen them play Clubhouse, and I feel as if Mkers were all ready for that. Acqui, again, we've talked about this. It does feel as if Lady Luck's on their side, Ollie.
It really is. Mkers are getting away with so much here tonight. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just siege timing for them. Been able to get the breach open there. Acqui is going to send a nade through. It's going to deal too much damage, if at all any, to anybody, but it will open up a little bit of the floor.
Look at Dora as well, ready to open up the other side, because Gisela knows he can't go for the Bandit trick if that single wall's going to be opened up. Down goes Aces. His night, Ollie, has gone from really, really good to nothing much. Ollie, 1 and 8 is where Aces may be finishing this game.
Yeah, it's really not good enough, and for a player of that caliber, we would certainly have expected a little bit more here. Still a lot of information being sent around the site. Acqui's been able to walk all the way in. He's got this info on a drone. He knows exactly what's becoming to him. Picks himself at one, puts some damage in onto the rope, but can't land the finishing blow. Jay potentially could get himself up here, but it's looking terrible for Kaneo and BZ. They've got a lot of work to do as Dora, he's going to flood himself on through. Plants now going down. BZ going to make his way downstairs and forfeit the bomb site. Sorry, he's going to nail that diffuser to the ground. Live ping coming in, but it is all too late. We've seen Mkers scurry and get themselves out of harm's way to hold this in a post plant. BZ going to get his first opportunity at an engagement here. He's got a yellow ping to work with, but really 30 seconds, 10 seconds per kill, as I like to say. BZ, got a tough task ahead of you. We've got a player hopped up over onto the desk inside of Cash. Mkers just keeping things interesting here. Gemini, he will get taken on out. There is a hope. It is a very slim one, but a lot rests on the next 13 seconds. Don't forget, you need 7 seconds to hit that diffuser. And BZ, unfortunately for him, is not going to have enough time. Sorry, is going to deal the finishing blow there. And Mkers are going to take this game and this map against Wild, locking their place into that upper bracket final against 10-Star.
Mkers demolishes them there in that last round, Ollie. Honestly, just straight in. Acqui, slippy movement.